Last time I was in here, I threw up. So, gotta make sure I don't overdo it.
You didn't throw up in here, dude.
No, I went to go to the bathroom. I made it to the bathroom.
Doesn't kill you, makes you stronger, right?
Agreed.
So, rooted with truth here with Timothy and Daniel doing sauna talks.
Hopefully we'll talk more tonight. Some things are better left unsaid though.
It's hard to talk about such dangerous talk about subjects and say a lot.
PW's at the door.
Rowan? Of course, PW needs out!
Rowan!
Oh, PW.
Oh.
Thank you. Do you have any hard questions for us?
Where are you going?
Come on, ask us at least one hard question.
What are you up to?
Your answers are silly.
No, they're not.
That's not a question.
Why is Trump claiming his tariffs are reciprocal when they have nothing to do with how much that country is tariffing us?
I'll have to do more research on the tariff thing, but hey, where are you going? You gotta at least let me answer you.
And he's gone.
I guess he doesn't like the idea of jobs being created here because it might mean he would have to work. So that big overgrown tree with dangerous branches that reach all around our planet have for a long time intervened and assassinated and done works in the dark with seemingly no oversight, no trimming, basically. Any big organization from the police department, fire department, hospital, like even a tire repair store, they're all like trees. And when those trees become overgrown, like they hurt people or things underneath. When a politician gets overgrown and corrupt, it hurts a lot of people. They start embezzling money and taking money that's supposed to go to social programs and stuffing it into their pockets or putting it wherever they put it. But money's kind of like shit. Manure, if you spread it out, it makes things grow. If you hoard it, it smells like, it stinks. I heard that somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know who to give credit for it, but it made a lot of sense. Yeah, we don't know the horrors that tree saves us from when they go get a bad guy on the other side of the world or wherever. They're, basically assassinating people, staging coups. There needs to be, a reckoning. And when they kill an innocent person, getting a bad guy, they just made more bad guys. Violence begets violence. And we need to make moves with love and peace in mind and in heart. Do no harm to anyone. Treat everyone with love according to who they are and where they are in relationship to you. You go from being a son or a daughter, everyone has that in common, to at some point, if you're lucky enough, you become a mother or a father. And it changes your perspective. You see the miracle of life. You appreciate every moment of every day. and your kids grow up so fast, and it's like, how did that happen so quick? You gotta enjoy every moment you get. No moment will be the same, so realize how precious every moment is of every day, every step, every breath. And, just realize that those big, dangerous, overgrown trees that have been hurting people for a long time, they're going to be dealt with. You don't have to worry. There's nothing we need to do but realize everything is going to be okay. There's nothing they can take from us that's important, the flesh, being tortured. Like, I think you got to try to make it 10 days if they get to you. And of course, they can poke and prod and torture somebody in some underground bunker where you don't see the light of day. You don't even know how long it's been. 10 days is what you got to try to, that's what the book I'm reading talks about, is about make it 10 days. And,
What book is this?
The Bible.
Oh. What do you mean by 10 days?
Many of
Can
you,
elaborate?
well, I often don't get the quotes right, but something about
What's the gist of it?
many of you will be put in prison, and you have to make it 10 days without losing your faith, with, realizing everything's going to be, it's about when they get broken. It's
I'd like to think I could make it 10 days, but then again, I once thought I could make it in a day.
yeah, most people can't make it 24 hours, but 10 days is like,
I can't make it 2 hours.
well, the Bible talks about being saved after 10 days. I think it's in Revelations, but I'll have to get back to you and need to do more studying.
Speaking of studying, trying to learn Spanish.
Yeah, I want to just Elon should just make some kind of thing where we, download like the Matrix and you learn Spanish. Where you put on the, I guess you would need the brain chip for that, really.
Well, you can either do the translator app, or you can do the brain thing.
Well, just like in the Matrix, like
hard work.
he radios, is it Tank? He radios Tank and says, I need a pilot's license for whatever helicopter, and
I think the idea is
he knows how to fly a helicopter.
I think it's real. It's just that the concept is real. You can download whatever skill you want. It just doesn't happen that fast. You have to work at it.
Well, I've seen
So you could learn Spanish. You could learn jiu-jitsu. You just have to commit and do it every day.
saw some
Stick to it.
sci-fi movie where they could you could sell your memories of things, and then other people would buy your memories, and kind of a bizarre reality. But that's kind of what we are, is we're a compilation of our memories, or the memories. That's what makes us who we are. It's our perspective, our connection, the shoes that we wore, the experiences that we had since little kids, where we loved, where we fed and cherished and let play. I mean, it was always about, I liked getting kids riled up and they would have fun. Of course, always there would be a meltdown. Somebody would get hurt. There were kids crying, but it's what kids do, having those interactions. I think we took my son Rowan to 9 hot springs. By the time he was a year and a half, we were counting them up. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. I used to love that. Went to Hawaii. His first cliff jumping, I don't remember how old he was, but pretty young.
Cliff jumping, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, beautiful spot on Maui. It was like finding those rocks to jump off into the water. It's such an amazing freeing of freeing yourself from fear to dive in head first in the water. Mine Lamont, that time we showed up and somebody had just died from diving off and hitting a snapping turtle, and trying to let go of my fears of dying. It's like, dude, I'm like 6 feet. There's no fucking oh, no person. Can we edit that out? Is that a bleep?
Yeah, I think we can.
Speak with grace.
Wait, imagine, seriously, they jumped in and hit a snapping turtle, and that's what killed them?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Somebody
Sounds
broke their neck.
It sounds worth Google.
When you get there, you have to, well, this was a long time ago, but you have to sign a, death waiver, which was awesome. And then, like, we got in there, and, like, it was like, oh, there's all those cars, and we were like, it was like silent as we walked in. It was like, what, is there nobody here? Like, nobody was jumping in the water or swimming. Hey, Rowan! PW needs back in! And it was like, why is this all like, what's going on? We're like talking to people, like, and like literally like right before we got there, somebody had been taken away in the ambulance, just dove off and broke their neck and died.
One of the last times I was there alone with someone. It's pretty cool. With the whole place to ourselves.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
I bet you've never had that.
No, I might be at the back door. He just scratched. I thought he was at the front door. What's another hard question? You gotta like wait to hear the answer. And
Hold on.
have you dove from high places, Rowan?
Put out your candle.
What? Don't put the candle out.
Yeah, relight the candle. That's our mood lighting.
It's silent son of candlelight
It
talks.
sets the mood. It sets
I
the
didn't
mood.
put it out.
Well, can you
It
relight
looked
it?
like you just put it out.
The dog put
There's
it
a-
out.
The dog put it
The lighter
out?
for it is right there. Fuego. Por favor. Como de ton candle. Como agua, por favor.
Yeah, facing your fears.
Bye.
Rowan,
What?
have you faced your daily fears?
No.
Facing your fears, diving, and it was like such a perfect experience of like, I was like, yeah, I mean, I was unable to jump off of like, because I'm like, at first I thought, I'd jump, and they have everything from hardly anything to like really high.
I've never had a fear of hitting a snapping turtle. It's crazy. I feel like you'll be able to see.
You can look and you can see them.
Yeah, well, how did the guy not see that? That's why I think we should Google this. Rowan!
It happens. A snapping turtle can become a hug, obviously, it's one of those things. That's why we have to appreciate every moment of every day, because tomorrow, there's no guarantee. Some of us might not make it.
Well, the story is you might jump on a snapping, killed by a snapping turtle tomorrow, so live today like it's your last.
Well, or jump feet first if you're not going to look, always like look and be like, okay, I'm going to hit the water about there and see anything that looks clear and you can dive in. But if you just like run and jump or run and dive and not look and not check, it's like when the light turns green. I don't go, I look.
Well, yeah, that's common sense. I'm more afraid of snakes in the water.
There's nothing to be afraid of with snakes.
Have you seen the snakes at Johnson Shut-ins? They literally swim towards you. They're super aggressive.
I like them. They won't play.
No, they're not trying to play. I don't think they're looking for a pet. I think they're territorial.
Well,
Water
it's,
moccasins.
I mean, you have to be smart. You have to not be afraid of them.
Well, I think you need to respect them.
Yeah, well, of course, respect their state. They got a bunch of babies back there. You don't want to be bit by the mom or the babies. Babies is even worse. That's like Lonesome Dove, that scene where the kid dies from water moccasins, like freshly hatched or whatever, and yeah, the really sad part of the Lonesome Dove.
I don't know who that
What?
is.
You've never seen that?
No.
Oh.
Sadly. We have not. Tu come aqua? No, I said that wrong. It's bebe. Bebe agua. Tu bebe agua. Yo bebo agua. Agua puta agua.
I brought my own water.
Si, senor. Como means eat. I got that backwards. Como mensamas? You know what that means?
Como está?
Yeah, how are you? What does it mean? Right?
It's like it's like a greeting. You don't remember the exact translation, but
Como manzanas, that's I eat banana. Apples. I eat apples.
donde está la señorita? Donde
Where
está
is
la
the girl?
cerveza?
Where is the service?
Cerveza. You gotta know cerveza.
What's cerveza?
Beer.
No, how would I know that?
What? You're gonna learn Spanish. Like you wanna go to Mexico or somewhere, you need to know how to order a beer. So that's what I learned. Like where you're walking around town and experiencing like a cool village in another country. Like it was about going and drinking. You know, a lot of guys went and did hikes and saw a lot of really beautiful spots. But at the time, it was about drinking for me, I guess. But it was awesome in Mazatlan, Mexico, drinking 25-cent cervezas with and back then it was like I was picking up a pretty good amount of Spanish. Being in the Navy and going to South America, different places, Mexico and Colombia. Picked up but I was like I could speak Spanish when I was drunk. When I was sober, I'd be like, what? I could not communicate, but also it's like when you're drunk, you don't realize like they don't even understand. Or they understand enough to like understand what you're saying. But you probably think you're speaking better Spanish when you're drunk, I guess. I don't know. Because I was always, we'd pull into port and we'd immerse ourselves in the city for like 2 or 3 days. And we'd have to stand watch one day and we'd be there for like 3 or 4 days. So we'd get, a couple days ago, one time we took a boat to this cool spot and went scuba diving and the cool spot was just like this really awesome cove that you could, snorkel around and it was like really easy swimming and beautiful and we went, it was like it was like right there. It was this little spot that they boated us to, and they served us food and drinks, and it was awesome and amazing. Yeah, it was like a catamaran boat or whatever it's called, with like dual like whatever sides. In the middle you could like hang out on. That was awesome. Beautiful, going down there and, sitting there, chatting with the local bar. The guy I was with spoke really fluent Spanish and he was a really great scuba diver. He was stationed in Guam. And the owner of the bar is like invited to bring us scuba diving when he goes and catches his dinner.
Did you go?
Yeah, the guy was like,
You went scuba diving with the air tank and everything?
yeah, he had all the gear for us and like, I knew a little bit, but I hadn't been certified, but I knew a little bit about scuba diving, I wanted to get certified.
I got certified with my mom when I was 10.
Yeah, the gear's still downstairs, right?
Yeah. I don't think it'll fit me anymore though.
Probably
outgrown most of it.
Yeah, maybe.
It's only 15 years old.
Yeah, it was like he took us out, like we went and we're like, I didn't even realize like that we went that deep or that we were that deep because we just followed this reef down
How deep did you end up going?
like 96 feet.
Did you hit any thermal glands?
No, I mean, like I said, I didn't even know we were that deep because we were just kind of following the reef and everything was really cool. And I was watching, we went down really slow and he found dinner. It was like a octopus and he like had a rubber band sling, spear. And he speared an octopus and the octopus was
like 90 feet down.
96 feet. Was the deepest point.
Was it
We basically went down until he found the octopus, and then we went up. We kind of went up, and it was like, holy cow, like it's way up. And then kind of, went back a little bit, just like, as we went up, you would go really slow. And you would do that, you keep together. And I was with like a really experienced diver, but yeah, it was my first dive, like 96 feet down.
Seems like good dive to do on your first dive when you're not certified.
Yeah, and seeing the guy wrestling, like the octopus fought him, like he was like grabbing his arms with his tentacles, but he knew what he was doing. He had a few old scars, and it was almost like he let the octopus, like he fought with it a little bit just to like put on the show for us. It was awesome. It's like one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. And it looked really big, but when we brought it up to the boat, it was tiny. I was like, oh, that was the giant thing that we saw in the water? Because they look really big in the water, but it's kind of weird. Like when they're not in the water, they don't look as big or as intimidating. But that was his dinner. And yeah, like he owned the bar. It was just like happened that we were sitting there chatting. Not at the Americanized bars where there's like a lot of people and it's like touristy and the beers are like $4 or $5. And we were sitting there, it was like 25 cents a beer. It was like a local place. We were like probably the only Americans there. It was awesome. You got to see the real authentic side of Mazatlan.
Yeah, I haven't gone in a long time. Would go again.
Oh, we gotta fix all the problems here in the United States of America, and then we'll continue around the world.
Just gotta, maybe I mentioned it, we're gonna get one of those air tanks.
Oh, it'd be nice, like
Those little portable ones that you can fill up with a bicycle pump, and then you can go into water for 10 minutes.
I think John has a mine that he would totally be into scuba diving down. It's like super clear water, but we don't know how deep it is.
I'm not sure if I'm into that.
What? Why not?
Not really a splunker.
It's really satisfying when you look up and stuff and you're like, how is this not falling and killing me right now?
Not for me. Okay.
It's like, I'm still here. I thought for sure that mine was going to kill me that day. Every day. And that's, you feel really alive when,
I feel plenty alive right now.
There's nothing like a big dangerous branch that you've been shaking coming back and
No, I saw the branch you climbed up on. Thanks.
the branch wasn't that dangerous.
No, it was the lack of branch that was dangerous.
The lack of viable holding wood.
Yes, the abundance of hollow tree.
Yeah, we should have taken a video of that house fire. I think that would have been a really great part of the video. Why didn't we do that?
It was too dangerous.
Too dangerous to film.
Yeah.
Was I wearing my tie on that one?
No.
Yes, I was.
Yes, you were. Oh yeah, it was the day before you went.
It was the day before that I took it off for safety concerns. stressful day. But everything went well. Nobody, I don't even know if usually I get a good bleed, good knuckle wound or something. And the willow has that rough bark, really likes to take off chunks of skin. I don't even think I bled. Like, 6-7 days that we spent in those trees, I think.
I made out alright too.
A little bit of sweat, but maybe a few drops of blood. I'm thinking, did I scrape my finger or scrape like an older wound maybe and got a few drops of blood, but I think that was about it for a week. That's pretty good. And I made promising work on like getting out of the deficit of like splinters in my fingers, because not this last time, but the time before that, when I was digging for a splinter, I was like, oh, I finally got the splinter out. And then even like, put it in the little splinter dig out kit, and just so I can always look at it with magnifying glass. And like the next day I was like, man, it really feels like there's still a splinter in there. So I was just gonna pull on it and open it back up a little bit, and out pops another splinter. So it was like I gained ground. You understand?
No comprendo.
Hablo.
No hablo español. No tu hable español.
Piquito? Español?
Piquito?
Piquito, like a little bit, right? I think Piquito is like
No
a little
grande.
bit.
No mas.
Donde hasta la Banos?
I know what it is in French. It's in
You know Banos, right?
Baño.
Baños?
Yeah, baño.
Baños?
Yes. Donde?
What does it mean?
Bathroom.
Just making sure.
Baño con sueño. Yo quiero baño al sueño. Mucho hot. How are you doing over there?
I'm doing absolutely amazing. Best day of my life. Right here in this moment, realizing all the amazing possibilities and not worrying about any of the details. Remembering to love. Number one rule, love one another. No matter what somebody does, treat them with love. Even if a group of people do some violent, horrible act, if you go do violence to them and trying to be justice, you're just creating more violence. Because violence begets violence. Just like we don't know the horrors or cats in action save us from when they go get a bad guy around the other side of the world or wherever they're doing their dirty work. When they accidentally kill innocent civilians getting their bad guy, they just made more bad guys. We need to be more laser-like and precision and catch the bad guys alive, because dead men tell no tales. And lethal force should only be authorized in the case of someone actively being a threat to society, and killing innocents or shooting at police officers could definitely get you on the lethal force authorized. But if you get pulled over for a broken taillight, that should never escalate to a lethal force, all being authorized because somebody moved suddenly or somebody this or that. And, maybe it would be justified if the event, the person pulled out a gun and, was going to try to kill a police officer. Lethal force is authorized, in moments like that, but never for a broken taillight, never for anything. We need to be getting the bad guys alive because then they can speak and they can spill the beans. They can tell us who gave them the money. They can tell us who duped them into believing these lies that they believe. That it's okay to hurt anyone for any reason. This impossible situation, I kept saying I love everybody, and God kept putting harder and harder to love people in front of me. And in the end, I came out with the whole mindset of love for everyone, no matter what. And people that hurt you, it's really hard to find forgiveness for them and love them again. But it can happen. Sometimes we need time to heal, of course. Can't have the top of the wave without the bottom of the wave. Life has its ups and downs. But we're all here to learn from our experiences, and we can't all learn the same thing because we can't all have the same experiences. We're all unique individuals, and what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for another person. And telling a funny joke, well, some people might find it funny, but others might be offended. It's all about speaking to who is listening. So, you season your words with salt, you speak with grace, so that your words can be understood, and you could be speaking truth and love. And that usually is regarding who you're speaking to. Are you speaking to elders? Are you speaking to brothers or sisters? Are you speaking to children? The way that we treat people with love is different regarding where they are in relation to us. We're all family. The earth is our home. We need to, get along and stop letting our leaders think for any reason we should blow up and kill in some other country or some whatever place, or maybe in your own country, in our own country. Killing is not okay. Declaring cease and desist on all killing. For those of you who slay by the sword, you will be slain by the sword. So put up thy sword. It's not the time for swords anymore. It's time to speak the truth, to try to learn the truth, to be a thought-thinking person who tries to discern truth from lie. It is a godly person. Not one who knows what's true and what's not, but one who tries to discern truth from lie. A thought-thinking person, realizing that every moment of every day, it could be our last moment real soon. So what do we truly leave behind when we leave this world? As surely as we came into this world empty-handed, we're going to leave the same way. Can't take anything with you, but what you can leave behind is what you do for others. So always be good to others. And when I walked up to death's door and thought the angel of death was going to take me at any moment, surely this is it. It can't go on much longer. And walking up to death's door, some days I couldn't even walk, but I never backed down. And I stood at the gates of hell, and I never backed down. I gambled my soul to risk it, to come back from the dead and try to save humanity by speaking the truth, by telling people that everything's going to be okay. That's the truth. You're going to die someday, so enjoy every moment of every day.
Speaking of that, I'm gonna go enjoy a cold shower.
What's the time at?
Yeah,
Oh,
1 minute.
You were 1 minute early.
I'm
I think you can push it for another 60 seconds.
not gonna go throw up again. It's all for me, folks. Stay tuned for solo sauna time with Timothy.
Like Han Solo?
Yes, whatever you want.
Oops, sorry.
Thank you.
Well, speaking of Han Solo, like, there was a great series of books that I read with my kid. Like 9 or I don't know, 12, 13 books or something. You know, it was like a in-between time in Star Wars, but, you know, of course, the Disney Star Wars never went with those stories. They went with more of a brutal and depressing part of the timeline. But yeah, Han Solo and Princess Leia, they have kids, Jaina and Jason Solo. They also have a younger son, Anakin. And Luke Skywalker has a, you know, like a Jedi training facility on like Yavin something or other, maybe 4 Yavin something. And it's like a moon, and there's like all these old temples, and they have like this Jedi Academy where the, you know, the Jaina and Jason Solo, and then Tanal Ka is like their friend who has a lightsaber accident and gets her hand cut off, but instead of getting a robot arm, she wants to, you know, make the best of being with one hand and try to be at such a level that she can be a Jedi warrior with only one hand. So she trains extra hard, and as far as we read through the story, she never got the prosthetic, even though it would have made her life a lot easier. There was Chewbacca and somebody, I think there was Chewbacca's niece, maybe, was in this, you know, also like, you know, it was like a whole generation of young kids, you know, going up and doing, you know, Jedi training with Luke Skywalker, and lots of adventures, and like every book had like this, you know, amazing story, and it could have really been made into 3 or 4 movies that would have been way more positive than current Star Wars. I think, you know, George did better. What I liked about the whole Jedi stories, it was, you know, they were training to be heroes, to run in and help people when there was dire situations and people had been kidnapped or enslaved. They would go in and save the day. They would go in and right all the wrongs. They would be like Jedis. They would bring about peace and prosperity. Yeah, all the villains always got it in the end. Always at the beginning of each book, there was a villain that seemed like they were, you know, somehow above it and could never be brought down. But these kids, the, you know, the little Jedi training kids, would always get into these adventures and save the day. Really great series of books that I read with my kid when he was really young. We have been hydrating and eating good nutrients and a balance, you know, what we think is good for ourselves, lots of fruit and different things, dairy, meat, like potatoes. Like I like eating a lot, but I like eating balance of things and eating some fruit and nuts and, you know, vegetables, meat, you know, potatoes, starch, like eating the balanced diet, because Our bodies are our temples, and we need to build them up. You know, it doesn't always mean physically. Sometimes it's mentally, but always with a good heart to build your body up, because it is your temple. The earth is our home. It has many, the earth is the church. We are all temples of the church, each and every one of us, no matter what somebody believes, whether they're the most wicked person in the world or the most saintly person in the world. Don't worry about the details. Treat everyone with love and respect. And what I found is it's a lot easier to love people when you don't know some of the dirty deeds that they've been doing up in the dark. Thinking that what's done in the dark will stay in the dark. No, of course. What has been done in the dark will be brought to the light. Multitudes of people will learn the truth, and the truth will set them free. We're all like different puzzle pieces, each one of us unique in our own way. We can't be forced to fit somewhere where we don't fit. We like it how we like it, and we want to do things. Sometimes maybe it's not the best for our health. Sometimes we want to get fat and be lazy and sit on the couch. To each his own. And we're all here to experience life through our own perspective, our own experiences. And none of us have the same exact experience. But all of us are different members of the body. No matter who you are, no matter where, no matter when you are, I love you. I got you. And I'm here, come back from the dead, to tell you everything is going to be okay. Be good, for goodness sakes. Because the bad boys and girls are about to reap the whirlwind. They're going to, what seems like what you would call karma, which, other people with similar beliefs as me say, no, not karma, you can't call it karma, but everybody is going to be paid according to their works. Everybody is going to reap what they have sown. So be good, for goodness sakes. Be good to your neighbor. Be good to your enemy. Treat everyone with the love and respect that you would have them treat you. And when you come to the place where you love and treat other people with the love and respect you would have them treat you, it is the fulfillment of the law. And the Word of God is truth. And truth is very valuable. So sell it not. It's more valuable than gold and silver, any kind of a secure bunker, a flying fortress that you think you can evade whatever catastrophic calamities that some imaginary foe can throw at you. It's about being right in your head and in your heart. There's no amount of underground bunkers or flying fortresses that can save you. No amount of preparation, bullets, guns, stocks of food and water. Either the earth will perish in flames, or either together we will save the earth from perishing in flames, from mankind. Either together we will save it, or together we'll be burned up with it. And if you don't like fire, if you fear fire, it's time to face your fears. Because a lot of us are about to feel the burn. And with fire comes cleansing. Fire burns through the forest and cleanses the forest of things. It puts nutrients back to the soil. It's good for a forest to have small fire burn through it, but it's not good for the fire to turn to a crown fire and burn all of the trees, not just the underbrush. There's like a balance point between cutting too much trees and not cutting enough trees. And, we need to be transparent on everything, on all public things. We need to be transparent. It should be illegal to profit off of the suffering of people. It should be illegal for the military-industrial complex to profit. They all need to be turned into non-profits. They can keep their money, but they can't keep making more money, making more conflicts. If they run out of bad guys, they go make another bad guy to sell their newest bad guy gun. And it's time that these beasts, these horrible, hurting multitudes of people, entities, whatever you want to call them, a beast fits it well. And when an organization, like Cats in Action, becomes this overgrown, dangerous tree, it is like a beast that slays people all around the world in the name that I'm the most dominant. You're not staying in line. Why did we kill this guy? Did we get a memo on this one? We're not sure where we killed this guy. His name ended up on a list, so we slayed him. No accountability. It's like a tree that's left to grow right over the top of every one of the human beings that live on planet Earth. It originates in our country, so we're all responsible for that beast that has been hurting people probably since its inception. When we look back over 50 years ago, we can start to see some of the stuff that they did way back then, and we should know that they're not up to any good today because of what they did 50 years ago. That people 20 years ago were calling out the truth, and they were called conspiracy theorists. No, you guys are nuts. Yeah, some of the conspiracy theories were laughable. They were so funny. I would tell them as jokes to get people to laugh. And then they started to become scary when they started to become true. And truth was revealed. And yes, we live in a forest of trees, and there's a lot of overgrown, dangerous trees out there. It's not a tree's fault for being overgrown, corrupt even. It's growth, it's natural. That's why we need term limits. Big, important thing that term limits would limit a lot of the old growth corruption. Those dinosaurs need to be gotten to the ground safely, and that's by making people aware of the truth, so that when they go vote and they are like the root, they are stimulating the growth of whichever branch they think is the best. Everybody says go vote. I say do your homework, be aware, don't let all the madness get you down. Appreciate every day, make the best of every day, try to make the best decision you can. Don't ever align with anyone. Try to get multiple opinions on any one subject you're trying to form opinions on, and then form your own opinion that aligns with you and your belief, because you listen to people from different perspectives. You heard it from other voices before you jumped to conclusions, before you formed your opinions. You listened, you tried to seek out and learn the truth and separate it from the lie. And even if you're doing really good and you make it to 99 truths that you speak, maybe you'll slip up. Maybe you'll tell a lie just because you wanted to sell that one big fat lie. You told 99 truths. Where does the good and the bad all lie? It doesn't matter. Treat everyone with love and respect. Do good unto others. For if you do others harm, you are harming yourself. You're harming the whole. And I'm here as a servant to every temple of the body, every person. I'm here, I'm your servant. I got you. Those of you that have been good, I will protect you. I will keep you under my array of protection, and no evil can come at you. You can stand the evils of this world and be righteous at the end of it. You can learn the truth and speak it from your own mouth and not listen to another's mouth, but realizing by every mouth you listen to, you are gaining perspective, you are gaining experience. And we are all one family. And Earth, this ball or whatever shape some people want to call it, a flat on a flying spaghetti monster's plate, more power to you. Everybody's entitled to their own beliefs, and that's how it should be. And I like hearing it from people with the wildest ideas. You have some crazy ideas? Tell me. Tell me what you come to believe, and I'll give you my honest opinion. Should we run? Should we stay? Should we go left? Should we go right? Should we do this? Should we do that? Should we jump? How high? What we should do in any given moment, you are the only one that can decide that. When you live with the idea, when you come to the point where you treat other people with love, enemies can't harm you. When people come to kill you, they'll lose their power. They'll change their mind. Seemingly trained, highly calculated, vicious slayers of men or slayers of humans will seemingly have to go to shrinks and not be okay with the fact that they are slain, because cursed is he who slays the righteous, who takes a reward for slaying the righteous or the just. Cursed is he. But all can be forgiven. Maybe some of you don't know where to ask forgiveness, where to make connection. So used to some website, blog, some link, some hashtag, some this or that, what's pulling us, our consciousness every moment of every day. What are we spending our conscious moments on? Reading a book is good, but scrolling through social media, you can get a lot. You can be really stimulated in a short time. But unplugging and sitting in silence, go to your closet, close the door, and sit in the dark. That's how you truly connect. That's how you connect to God. That's how you connect to angels, higher powers. I'm not sure about the lower powers. Some things are best not known. But what I know is life is precious and amazing, and that's what I come to believe. When I walked up to death's door, somehow I'm still here. I'm able to speak. I'm not brain dead. I haven't come back from the dead and not been able to move my body, or some other thing that happens to people when they die and come back from the dead. I don't know, a lot of movies about vampires and zombies and all these people that come back from the dead. They're monsters and we should slay them. And I'm like, oh shit. Oops. Sorry, second curse word. Bleep that, please. You know, zombie movies, vampire movies, it's always about killing the guy that came back from the dead, or killing the zombie strippers that come back from the dead, killing the whatever undead creature. I don't know. Who in their right mind would say, oh, you come back from the dead? Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about hard to talk about subjects. It's not that hard. What's hard is realizing that we've been duped into believing a lie. And we get built up on lies and people that we trust and believe and tell us things and get us to a place where we believe a lie so fervently that we will go and hurt other people or hurt other people's things. Obviously, the person who's been duped into believing a lie is doing vandalism, is breaking the law, and they need to be held accountable for the law that they've broken. But the person that duped them into believing those lies, that is okay to go and do that, to go firebomb this because we'll pay for your lawyer fees. Like, wait, can they really do that? Isn't that against the law? I'm pretty sure it's against the law. Is there a Justice Department out there that's brave enough to arrest some of these seemingly impossible to bring down beasts that are stepping over and hurting, breaking people just to watch them break other people because they had been broken? Just to watch those people grow up and break other people because they were broken? It's this vicious cycle that the only way to stop it is through love and compassion. No matter what somebody has done, Treat them with love. Don't take vengeance into your own hand, our hands. Trust the Lord will come and seek swift retribution. For those that have killed by lies will die by lies. Those that have killed by the sword will die by the sword. And it's going to happen in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the sounding of the last trump. The trumpet will sound. And I believe, in my humble opinion, that we don't have anything to worry about. We got to trust in the Lord to come punish the bad boys and girls and question marks, whatever somebody identifies as. Doesn't matter your details, your beliefs. It's about, are you on the left? Or are you on the right? Different hands. We're all like a hand, and we're either on the left or the right. It's not Democratic and Republican. We see things from a different perspective. And what we need to do is connect to those near us, regardless of their political beliefs, seek out opposing opinions, make beliefs, form beliefs that are rooted in truth after listening to as many opinions as you can and forming your own opinion. And don't trust anyone, but treat everyone with love. And whether or not somebody's telling you 99 truths to spin you that big one fat lie, or they just got duped into believing that fat lie and it's not their fault, why do we blame somebody? It's like blaming a broken tree branch that hurts people. A person out there broken, they need to be helped. They need to be brought to the ground where they're no longer a threat. They need to be mended. They need to be fed and watered and hydrated. Am I talking about trees or people? We're all like a tree, kind of. At least a part of a tree. Some of us are tree branches, some of us are tree roots, some of us are that solid wood that holds things together. Probably like moms and good family people. I'm sure there's a lot of dads that are like that solid wood that holds the family together. And we have children. We have those are kind of like the roots. We have upper branches. They're like the elders. And where we're lucky, we get to go visit our elders before they pass, before they can no longer have simple conversations that you thought, oh, I got this to do, I got that to do, got time to hang out with my grandparents, I got better things to do. Someday you realize, oh, they're gone. I can't go visit them anymore. You get that one last final visit, brings the family together. Regardless if you were at ends or not, and a close family member dies, you all show up and mourn the death of your loved one, your family member. You realize, man, we could have spent so much more time together. We could have had such more amazing times if we had done this better. It's always easy to look hindsight and say, oh yes, I should have said that to that beautiful woman. Instead I stumbled, I put my foot in my mouth. It seems like the more I say, the more I put my foot in my mouth. So I find best to say least. Answer yay or nay. You got anything else to put on the record? Not me. Except don't believe everything that I say, because I'm a really good liar. And if they corrupt me, if they get to me and they break me, they become this thing in the night, this torture chamber that gets me to break down and give up on my belief to love everyone, even the one torturing me, and try to speak the truth to him or her, or question mark, whatever they identify. If it's an attack helicopter, bring it at me. I got nothing but love for you. I'm here for you. So you need somebody to take a hit and not call the cops on you? Guarantee you come and you hit me, I won't hit you back. I won't call the law enforcement. I would say when you hit me, try not to let witnesses be around, because all it takes is them calling and they gotta show up. But I got nothing to say about anybody. My experience, my list of good and bad and boys and girls throughout the world, it's a list for God's eyes. No man needs to see it, no woman needs to see it. Only me and Father, as I put the list forth to ask for these wicked ones to be finally cut off and removed from us. Good people who would be good if they just hadn't been doped into believe in these lies. It is those that have spoken and gotten people to believe the lies that need to be brought down. And truth is to be taught to our children. Truth is need to be taught in every social conversation. We should have reality TV shows where people are independently seeking out their own opinions on what is true and what is not. For we can never know only having a slighted small group of people giving us their opinion. We can never know the whole truth. We must learn the truth before we enforce justice. Otherwise, it is not justice, it is injustice. And have no fear, good boys and girls, and question marks. For the bad ones are about to be cut off and removed from planet Earth. And we can have 1,000 years of peace and prosperity. We'll have huge advancements in science and medicine. People will be living to ripe old ages. Medicine will cure you, not keep you reliant on taking this drug. It is no longer okay to profit from the suffering of people. So military industrial complex, time to give up your money, your whatever you want to call it, that horrible thing that you've created. Medical industry, it is time that the truth is revealed and we show the huge advancements in science and medicine and cure these diseases that are only being kept around so that they can be used to make money off of people. People can and will be healed. In the name of Christ, I heal any human being on planet Earth that is ready to receive healing. And to every wicked one, I give you this one last opportunity to turn from your wicked ways. Repent and do penance. For the hour is near. Time is almost at an end for you. In these last moments, only you can decide what to do. Speak truth, invest in truth, do no harm. And when someone comes to slay you, don't slay them back. Someone comes to kill you or your family or steal your household, you maim them. Once they're maimed, you disarm them, you heal them, you stop their blood, you get them to the nearest hospital. Yes, of course, all of you are thinking this criminal will turn around and sue me and own everything that I own. I tell you, in my opinion, you are better off. You shoot to maim them. Yes, surely in our upside down world, the criminal will most likely sue you and own your house if the criminal has left the means or the heart. Through love and peace. Love everyone no matter what they do to you. The ones that hurt us are the hardest to love, but they are the ones that need it the most. And this has been rooted with truth. I hope I didn't give you too much truth to get you all googly-eyed or killed. Hopefully you haven't found one of my joking or rather serious speaking points to be so humorous that you'll die laughing. Surely I would get in trouble for that, right? Probably isn't much better way to go out. You laugh so hard because of something I said. Yep, we live in an upside down world, probably against the law to tell a joke so funny. that people will laugh so hard that their disease will even be cured. The trouble is getting them to stop laughing before they die laughing. Because life is amazing and precious, and when we learn the truth, it is hard to find love for some of these people, but that's what we have to do. It is hard. Sometimes it takes years or longer. Sometimes it takes someone trying to take your life before you can learn to really appreciate their life and what they went through and the lies that they were told to believe something so that they would come to try to kill. Very important rule. Love one another. Pretty sure that means you shouldn't kill or steal or covet. And if the person you love is with someone else, love the one you're with. And love the one you've been with. And I want to tell you, I love you, each and every one of you. I don't care when you are, where you are, what your beliefs are, whether you want to kill me or help me in my crazy quest to learn truth from lie. I love you. I got you. You got nothing to worry about. Peace!